Hey everybody, welcome back. So, next installment of my vacation Arizona toy hunt footage. We are going to the toy box. This place was amazing. It's a lot bigger than it used to be. Last time I was here, about 3 years ago, it was kind of a smaller store. Now they have like three times the space. So, let's check that out and then I'll show you what we got. All right, we're going into the toy box here in Old Town Glendale, Arizona. It's pretty insane. Yeah, it's a pretty big store, so they should have a ton of stuff. Alright, well, starting off here is the little G.I. Joe section. They've got a bunch of vintage stuff, they got 90s stuff, they got a little bit more modern stuff here and there, but yeah, the store, I mean, they basically cover all the bases as far as different collections go. So if there's a genre of 80s, 90s, 2000s toys that you want, this store has it. So they've got old Beetlejuice, the old Western stuff, the Jetsons. Let's see, what else can we find here? Looks like Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, some old vintage Dukes of Hazzard. Like this stuff, you never see this stuff anywhere. And that's awesome to see. I'd love to buy that generally, but try not to spend too much all at once at each store, because there's just so many stores here that I've got to get to. But yeah, chips. Yeah, it's just crazy. There's the A-Team van. I don't know how old that thing is. Like Ghostbusters Tower for $200. Big State Puff. You know, modern Ghostbusters. All the vintage Ghostbusters in this case here. With some of the newer retro. Here we go over here. Oh, there's a bunch of Gen 1 Transformers mixed in with Gen 2. But yeah, lots of cool stuff in here. They got some Dinobots. Some littler guys. I really wanted to get one of these Dinobots that was in here, but I ended up not. Cause once I get one, I'm going to want them all. I want all the vintage original ones. I used to have a couple of them, but I don't have those anymore. Yeah, it's a big store though, so stay tuned. So if you haven't seen what you like yet, you're probably going to eventually. I think this is all the Gen 2 side of the Transformers. Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. It's kind of hard to decide what to get. Old Optimus Prime Megatron pistol. That's pretty cool though, Optimus Prime. Yeah, we got some old vintage Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, like I said, basically any genre of toy from the 80s and up they have here. So more Beetlejuice, King Kong action. Let's see, Dragon Ball Z. Free Dragon Ball Z, folks. Unless there's a lot of Dragon Ball collectors on TikTok. Then we got Robotex. There's some vintage Voltron. I love me some vintage Voltron. As you've seen in some of my prior videos, I have the original Voltron Lions. Not that Palatoy one with the pilot seats, but it's pretty cool to see. I was kind of tempted to buy some of that, but some Gundams. More Palatoy Voltron. This thing is amazing. I like that it comes with all the pilots. I think they're selling, yeah, this whole bot with the pilots as a set. There you go. These guys, I forget what some of this stuff is called. There's some Mighty Muscles. No, those weren't Mighty Muscles. It was different sets. Galaxy Fighters, Ninja Warriors. Some stuff you don't really see anywhere. I got all the Rock Lords down there. They don't have the gold one. Because if they have the gold one, I'd buy that for sure. But they don't have the big golden nuggets, so. Solid Pass. Oh, wait, there it is. Gold nugget. Oh, that's what it is. The price is just not right for me. Moving on. Yeah, so loose Rock Lords. Yeah, if they had the loose gold nugget, I would have bought that. But the last they did not. I've got to record my audio after the fact because it was really quiet in there. I would have felt real awkward talking while there was maybe one other customer in the store. Basically, my brother-in-law was with me, but yeah, this place is just crazy overwhelming how much stuff they have. Going to some Star Wars. A bunch of different genres of Star Wars in here. Of course, Power of the Force, Episode 1. All sorts of goodness there. Of course, they have plenty of vintage, which you'll see here soon. They have Mud Trooper Han. I just wanted that big 18-inch Mud Trooper Han. It's like some Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Yeah, all sorts of different generations of Power Rangers stuff. New stuff, old stuff, good stuff, blue stuff. Back to some more Power of the Force. Big Megazord up there. Looks like Star Wars books. Get the big land speeder. And on to the vintage. Get all this vintage goodness. All those TIE fighters, troop transports, X-Wing, Y-Wing, tons of Vader cases. The 3PO case. Let's see, some carded Star Wars down there. Old Guard. Let's see, yeah. Obi-Wan. Ewoks, Klaatu's, and then back on the wall, they got a bunch of the cool carded stuff. Oh, it's these comic packs that some of them are seemingly more rare, but they had all the good ones, I do believe. Yeah, the cool comic packs, and carded vintage over there. A big gun laser battle or laser case, carry case, Space Force case. It's like a carded or boxed B-Wing, boxed Falcons. It's pretty awesome. You don't see a lot of boxed B-Wings out and about anymore. But of course, the prices are generally priced, crazy market value. So. Well, they'll probably be sitting on a lot of this stuff until they get some crazy collectors that are willing to pay top dollar, but that's okay. It's cool to see. No Dagobah play set, the Jabba's dungeon sets, and boxed shuttle, unboxed shuttle, Ewok backpack, old bots. Everybody loves those old wind-up bots. Some Spawn, his love gun. Let's see, old vintage board games. Vintage board game section. Open and move on to. Looks like, oh yeah, here's all the vintage Masters of the Universe. Lots of old school He-Man. And some new school He-Man. But yeah, Gen 1's on top. There's some Gen 2's mixed in there, but the old Orko. Some other stuff. Cool old He-Man mask. Well, not He-Man mask, but a Merman mask. Old box sets. Moving on. Some more Star Wars. We got the Black Series. Not a ton of Black Series, but at least I got some of the cool ones. And awesome. Here's the vintage Star Wars case. Like the more expensive stuff that you don't really see that much. Power of the Force. Last 17. They got one of those crazy bootleg stormtroopers in there you never see. That card back, at least I don't think it's still carded by any means, but at least it comes with card back and it's the original troop, I think. Tri-logo Forest Ranger A-Wing. You got the old boxed droids A-Wing selling at top dollar. Some more mini rigs. We got the movie viewer, old C3PO R2D2 alarm clock, and there's some cars, some starting lineup, and then we go into the VC collection. They had a bunch of the VC collection, of course, priced accordingly to their current values. I don't need any of that myself. Up there they got a Jabba sail barge up there. Open, Mandalorian. Let's see, going on. It's cool vintage Star Wars Darth Vader display stand. I was there, and there's some of the more expensive VC collections in this case. Some of the more pricey ones. Yeah, I think we've only covered maybe half the store so far. Yeah, maybe 2/3. There's still quite a bit to go. So hang tight here. Let's see, a bunch of loose vintage. Loose vintage Star Wars, a bunch of Bullet Power of the Force coins, a couple of Droids coins. I don't think they had any of the coins that I needed, but some old school art Yodas. Got the brown snake Yodas, orange snake Yodas. Bunch of troops down there. Looks like maybe naked C-3POs. Not quite sure. And then we go to some more loose modern Star Wars. Anything ranging from Episode 1 and up era. And micro collection, some more VC collection. And then we go on to this mask. Yeah, they got a bunch of mask. Stuff is sweet. I used to love mask when I was a kid. A bunch of the different sets. I don't know if they have all the sets, but there's quite a bit of sets. Then we go on to turtles. They had a bunch of the Gen 1 turtles mixed in with a little bit some of the newer ones, but I love this Gen 1 turtles because they are awesome. There's Casey Jones chilling back there, and some of the weird random stuff you could get for Ninja Turtles from back when, and new stuff, old stuff, and then here's some much more loose Ninja Turtles and kind of random other stuff kind of mixed in, and some loose Masters of the Universe. Some cool stuff. Some Evil Lynn. Stinkor, Skeletor. Yeah, all sorts of crazy cool stuff in here. Vintage gargoyles. She-Ra. There's that Toxic Avenger guy right there in the middle. Is that what that was? Maybe that's something else. I'm not quite sure. Some of those Dragon Balls up there. Some play sets. And High and Mighty. Same with Turtles. Some high play sets. A mask play set. Boulder Hill. Or I think that was a loose version of that in there. And on the other side, they got some of the. They got the old original Turbo Man and then the new version Turbo Man. It's like there was definitely a box difference. Some Episode 2. Saga stuff. What's this guy? What's this guy? Some random Cactus Man or something. Saw Adventures hanging out. If I didn't have that, pick that up. Another quick look at that for whatever reason. And moving on, my micro collection. And they have a little bit of a comic section in here. Some framed art stuff. Some comic books. Looks like some original pages from comic books. Which I think the guy said that they were kind of getting rid of the section because it was a different guy and he was kind of on his way to moving his stuff out. So if you go there now, I don't believe this stuff will still be there, but it was kind of cool to see while we were there. It's like Sweet Paprika. I almost got that because it's done by Mike DeBalfo, and I love Mike DeBalfo, but think I ended up passing on it. Like I said, it was a long trip here, and I gotta save some money for some other spots. And I already spotted a few things that I'm gonna go back and get, as you will see here at the end of this video, of what I picked up. Some more comic books, like some Chicago Cubs umbrellas. Random. And here we are going on to more loose Joes. And yeah, loose G.I. Joes. Got all sorts of Joes in here. There's some hardcore G.I. Joe collectors out there. Yeah, some of the older stuff, big box stuff. Got the Commander, some like old cards. Some girly stuff. They got some girly stuff for the My Little Ponies. And what else they got in here? Like I said, almost any genre of toy you can think of, they have in here. There's some Flintstones, some Muppets, some Barbies, Hobbit, Living Dead dolls maybe. So old school. I remember some of this stuff from when I was a kid. My sister having some of it. Some old Spawn stuff. The old Army of Darkness. Let's go on to Care Bears, Snow White and Seven Dwarves. Some Strawberry Shortcake stuff. Old vintage Strawberry Shortcake boxed. And more My Little Ponies. Loose vintage My Little Ponies. Basically almost any pony you could have ever wanted. And then some of the more modern ponies. That's pretty sweet. Letty loves some ponies. And what else? Friday Night at Freddy's. Oh yeah, here's some loose DC stuff. You got some old stuff, some new stuff. Yeah, the original stuff from the 90s, late 80s. Mr. Miracle, Batman, Penguin, Robin, Lex Luthor. That's bigger stuff, newer stuff. Kind of wanted some of this stuff, but I don't know if I ended up, I guess I ended up getting one thing out of here. And some carded DC section. It's kind of cool old stuff here and there. It's like an old Poison Ivy. Here's old Poison Ivy. I should have got this one. Nightwing, Catwoman, Batman. What else? Multi-packs. Oh, here we go to vintage Marvel. All this vintage Marvel stuff. Invisible Woman. Got Thor. Original Thor figure. Old Fantastic Four. Old Silver Surfer. Old carded X-Men. Something that I really need. Of course, I have most of these, either carded or loose. And some loose Marvel, or some Marvel Legends. Looks like they had some of the newer sets, some of the older stuff. Some pretty good ones though. That Invisible Woman I really like. Big Vader. Now we got some loose Marvel stuff. Some pretty cool stuff there. Looks like Stepford Cuckoos were up there. Got some old Secret Wars stuff. Need a couple of those here and there, but I think at this point I have all of them except for the rare, super rare ones that were not made in country. These ones are pretty good shape though. Let's see, more Legends. Yeah, Stepford Cuckoos there. Looks like some other loose ones. And there's a small Hot Wheels section. Smashbox.
All right, welcome back from the toy box. That place is crazy. They just have so much. It's just insane. I was super overwhelmed. It was really hard to decide what I wanted to get, but I decided on these things. So this is what I got. Let's start off with, we got the Invisible Woman, Marvel Legends, As you guys know, I love the Invisible Woman, and I've been kind of slowly putting together all the different cool figures of her. I don't have any of the old Jessica Alba figures of Invisible Woman, but it's still cool. This one was actually one of the better ones that they ever made. It's actually really good sculpt, really good face, really good body, actually, as far as, yeah, see, looks really good. This amazing figure, beautiful figure of her. And then I got this one. I got Warpath because he was good and cheap. And I think I had this at one point, but I gave it to my uncle. He's a Native American. I always gave him Native American figures for whatever reason. But yeah, it was really cheap, so I picked that up as well. And then I got this guy for my Snake Mountain. Kind of, as you saw, I've been kind of picking up the newer Master of the Universe, but I'm going to give most of those to my buddy Jesse. But I do want a few vintage ones just to deck out my Snake Mountain with. And then I also picked up the Many Faces from there. As you can see in all of his Many Faces glory. It was awesome too because, I like to have loose stuff so it's not so much cumbersome to pack and go home with. And then, of course, I got Casey Jones. I got Bucky O'Hare. I got the Vintage Joker. I didn't have a Vintage Joker for my old Toy Biz run of figures, but I think this is the Superpowers one from 1984, 86, or whatever that is. And of course, I saw this Earthworm Jim for super cheap, and I always loved Earthworm Jim, so I picked him up as well. And then lastly but not leastly, before I left there, I grabbed a comic book. They had Amazing Spider-Man number 800, and it kind of filled a hole of what I needed for that storyline, so I had to pick that up. But yeah, next stop, we're going to another amazing toy store, so check back for that, and I'll talk to you soon.